We have gotten questions in the last week, and they're around the same things. How do I close this? Invite them. Um, so I thought I would go through that, but if anybody wants to put in the chat panel topics they want to make sure I cover, that is perfectly good and fine. Uh, but and Sarah, feel free to interrupt me. Otherwise, I want to talk about something I've assert the flow. Let me just put something on the screen here. I don't have like a. I usually have an agenda slide I stick in here, but um, so what? Okay, so what I'm hearing from a lot of agencies and a lot of multi-brand advertisers or folks who want to start advertising, but maybe they're just doing social posts right now. We have the launcher has been enhanced for Meta in the last few days, in the last this week, and I want to make sure I'll show that. But basically, I want to show what it's like to onboard a new brand. Many folks want to create nice looking ads where they have control of the style, the copy, the products in there are pixel perfect, the logos are pixel perfect, and they want to do it, as fast as possible. They're trying to churn out creatives of different aspect ratios, different sizes. And so whether you're an agency, whether you're a solo business owner, or you are a multi-brand advertiser, um, I think this will be relevant to you. So I want to show like creating a new brand and what the onboarding looks like, and then how do you get to a good output and then resize those to different aspect ratios, even IAB sizes, and then select those and launch. So I'm going to use. I was just talking to a customer who, whoops, where am I? In this space, the insurance space. And so, they do a lot of stuff like Aflac and other. And so I wanted to just use that as an example because it works pretty well. So you can, when you do onboarding, it's the same flow, but I already am in the account. So I'm just creating a new brand called Aflac. I'm onboarding this brand. Let's just say, they're one of my customers or something, right? So I can pick the language. That's the default language. The country usually controls the currency that's going to show in the reporting. That's primarily what the country selection is for. It is good to like put the right URL here because a lot is going to happen now based upon the URL you select. We're going to scrape it. We're going to collect information about the business. We're going to ask you about the product you want to advertise. We're going to collect logos, fonts, colors, and sort of draft everything for you, which you can then fix if you need to. But a lot of the work has been done. Um, so I'm going to move forward. Like I said, the country really just dictates the currency, and the language dictates both the UI language and the default language for your automated ads, whether it's a campaign brief or whether it's just quick ads, that you can produce. Okay, so this is going to take just, maybe 30 seconds. We are scraping assets right now from aflac.com. Like I said, maybe I didn't. You can do a subdomains in there. We do get a lot of signups that are using not www.aflac.com. They're using Instagram link URLs. They're using Shopify URLs. They're using, I don't know, TikTok. They're using. Those are sometimes harder to scrape. In fact, very professional sites can sometimes be hard for us to scrape. We're scraping it on your behalf, but like yeah, some professional websites are preventing our crawlers and stuff. So unfortunately, we can't do some of the heavy lifting for you. Apparently, we can here. So we took this logo from Aflac.com and we pulled these colors that we have identified. You can tweak them or verify the hex code here and give it a new name if you feel like it. Of course, you can also add other ones that aren't here. Sometimes these labels will be helpful down the road. We're helping you configure an automated system where if you configure it correctly up front, going forward, it's just very, very fast. You're going to I want to create more ads, different sizes, shapes, variations. And so it's all going to be the right color, the right logos, blah, blah, blah. Having a good logo is very helpful. In fact, I think from my session earlier, I have even a background removed logo, I think I might have, which is good. You should have one because it'll save you time later, like I said. Now, a lot of the ChatGPT based ads can use non-background removed. It can use a lot of different kinds of imagery. It doesn't even have to be perfect imagery. Sometimes you don't even have good product photos or persona photos, or you have, but it can really use a lot of anything you have. If you're a B2B company, all you have is graphics. Screenshot it from the website and put it in the next step where I'm going to show you the assets. But for now, I just wanted to talk about the logos because it'll save you time later when you go in the editor and you want a background remove thing. You already have it. Of course, if you don't have it, you can background remove it in the editor too. So we've auto-generated this campaign description, which is sort of generic, but because it's just based upon Aflac, right? I didn't use a subdomain or anything, so it's just like we provide all kinds of health insurance of every sort. Not very specific. Your campaign will be kind of generic, right? So I'm going to say like, Aflac is the official sponsor of Alabama football and wants to promote um, its family and pet health insurance. So now the copy and messaging will be around that and also the imagery. Family and pet health insurance and show variety of ad styles uh, with both Aflac and Alabama football logo. I want both logos in there. Okay. Okay. So then, and the audience, this is helpful. I know everybody's in a hurry. Yeah, we service like individuals of every kind. Well, I mean, if you have a face cream and your target audience and your ads maybe should be women because it just you have 70% women and you think that's better, then you should just write that here. Maybe certain gender, maybe certain age, maybe certain they're fashionistas, they're otherwise you're going to have a mix of all these auto ads where it's half men putting cream on their face, half women, whatever, whatever. So just, I think families, like for me, I kind of want some imagery that has like a family of four at the Alabama football game and stuff like that. I think that would be good, because it's all about, insurance for the family and your pets and stuff. Let's just say that for now. Okay, so let's create so this is where we want a product. So you can create products now or services where it has specific metadata and descriptions, even audiences and assets, so that you can have when you're creating quick ads, like one-off, or you're creating a campaign brief, which is like a pre-configuration, so you don't have to keep prompting over and over again manually. Um, you can associate this product with this campaign, this product with that campaign. This is upper funnel. Uh, I have an upper funnel brief for product. For this product will be, let's call it, I could have different briefs for upper funnel, lower funnel, product A, product B, language A, language B, older people who are retiring, people in college, right? Like the marketing messaging, the imagery, the colors, the settings could be different based upon different ad groups, ad sets. So you could break those into different campaign briefs or different. I guess you wouldn't do it for product unless it was just a sort of a unique offering, but you can do it at the campaign brief level. And the product is just what the product is. The product is health insurance, health. I'm just going to put health and pet insurance. Why not? Okay. Just because I'm sort of lazy and like it's, I don't know, best overall coverage. Usually you would put you could copy and paste this from the website. You can come up with what features and benefits do you think would be good for the AI to know about and maybe put into different styles of ads. Best overall coverage for families. Uh, I could say at the lowest price or whatever. In this case, I think let's just see what happens when you don't give very much information. Okay. And then I could put price, like I don't think Aflac wants to promote the price. Offer, you don't have to. Product benefits, you could if you wanted to highlight some. So for instance, for product-centric ads, I probably would have product assets, a picture of the thing, and the benefits of the thing, because some styles will have like the product features and benefits like around it, and then other styles won't. It'll be a lifestyle ad that has your target customer using the product, like the cream, in the right setting, um, you know. And so you can put it here, and you can also add it later because we're just creating this, and it's on the products page after I finish, and you'll see it. And then you can create different products for different audiences, for different, whatever. So for now, I'm just going to leave it like that. Um, for instance, if I was a credit union that also is a sponsor of Alabama football, I might have like a promotion going on. I'm really trying to get them to do the let's say by the checking account, and it's $200 off to join the checking account. That looks good when you do have that. But for now, I'm just going to not do it here. Okay, so then you can upload assets or use the ones that we've scraped. Now, garbage in, garbage out. I think you should have some assets, and it can be a variety of assets. And then as you create ads, you'll find that, you know what, I'm going to remove that asset. I'm going to actually go get another asset. I'm going to go find one. Or we're going to enhance it or something. So anyway, let's say I like the duck. I think this is a good graphic. Uh, like the logo, you don't need to include in the product because the logo is already included from the brand page. So you don't have to keep including that. If it was about dental, I would put that tooth, whatever, whatever. Let's see, what else do we have here? I mean, you don't have to go wild with a lot of graphics because a lot of the Gen AI will still work. It'll create a family at the football game. Like, I don't need a graphic of Alabama football stadium, but I could if I wanted to, but I don't have one, so I won't. Uh, I'm just going to do these three just for fun. I don't, let's see. I could also, you know what I'm going to do? That Alabama logo. That's the sponsor, right? This is a co-sponsor ad. So let's just go with it. What is that Alabama logo? Okay, I have an SVG one, so it's background removed. Let's just go with it. So it's going to load it really quickly and vectorize it, and it's now available in your assets, by the way. Um, yeah, here we go. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, the next step is what styles in general do you want it to look like that are sort of, on brand and and I'm about to show you this like workflow for doing things very, very fast. So for instance, I'm going to create square ads. I'm going to quickly look at them, find a couple good ones. I'm going to copy and resize those into a portrait and a landscape. And then I might even like go further and make like IAB compliant banners and things like that. And so to do that, I'm going to have to layer it, which means that you don't want a real busy lifestyle ad, like where there's all this overlapping things, very hard to layer, and it's going to make me have to do some cleanup. I don't want to do cleanup. I'd like real simple styles like this, no overlap. I think it'll layer this nicely. This one, a little bit of a busy headline. Let's give it a shot. Let's just see what happens. You can upload your own reference ads. In fact, as you get used to the platform, you probably will just have this folder reference ads that you just use over and over again because it's on brand, et cetera. It just works. And once you upload it, it's in your reference ads assets. You have an assets folder. Let's see, what else do I want to put? If there was one sports one, that would be good. But for now, I'm just gonna use what we have.
And then Chris, we do have a
Yeah,
question in the chat about
sure.
if you find a video on YouTube that the client like or like the client's asking if that they like, how do they load it to the AI?
So we don't. So you could use a screenshot of the video, but we don't create videos. We don't create like multi-clip videos based upon like modeling that YouTube video you're talking about. Um, Yet. We actually have a product in progress, which will be done soon, where it's like a multi-clip. You could put together the clips, so different animated imagery that either has words on it or maybe it doesn't have words on it, and you add the words later as an overlay. So that's
Yeah,
in
this is no
progress.
problem.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I don't know if that was a question. Um, I think I answered the question that, we don't. We do have a computer vision for getting insights from the YouTube videos, like you could learn, but it's really for your own performance data for your own videos. Um, I hope that answers the
And then
question.
maybe also just showing, even though we don't have a direct integration to like import directly from YouTube, you could also show along the way perhaps just where you could import your own videos and then utilize those in templates and
Yeah,
other creative.
sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely use video clips and you can upload them to the assets library. I'll just show you real quick. So asset library. So here. The ads page is our main page. The briefs page is like pre-configured multi-concepts thing where you can include data. And so you can have an always-on optimization cycle where you just refresh the data, you get new concepts, it keeps going in perpetuity. The insights, this is the variation templates. So if you want to reuse a style, a layered template over and over again, or make variations of it, like different products, different copy, different personas in there, different backgrounds, etc. But we're going to go look at the asset library because I think the question pertains to like easily. So if I would probably, I might we have like we've created these folders for you already, uh, but I would like create a new folder called videos. I don't know. And I would then go into my folder and I would you can very easily upload like multi-select upload, or you can you can multi-select this whole thing. I could just like, and I could upload all it. I'm not going to, but, or you can just select the folder. You can just select the folder and just upload the whole thing. It'll be done in a second and you're moving forward. Okay, so that's that. Uh, 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 let's see. This is the product. I just want to make sure we see this. Okay, so that's what I configured earlier. Now let's go look at this brief real quick because we auto created a brief for, it's good to have, one, and you can manually create many different ones. This is for audience A, product A, audience B, product A, product, whatever, different product, different audience, etc. And so this is the first one we've created. I wrote this. It's Aflac, sponsor of Alabama football. Try to feature both logos, click-through rate objective. All this stuff is what we went through. This is where you can associate a product, and then it'll use those assets. If I have a different product, it'll pull those in, and then I can remove some or add more if I want. And these are the reference ads that I had. So let's just see how it utilized that to do it. And the default is 5 concepts. I think you can go up to 8. Um, Oh, what I didn't show you is the styles yet. Okay, what I really want to make sure people know, because we do support same session. You have a thought on the top of your mind, you go to the quick ads and you run it. And then you have, okay, now I have kind of an idea, but I'm not sure. You can go to quick ads, run it. But you should really configure stuff up front, have good assets, have the right colors. Otherwise, you're just making yourself do work later. Okay, oh, these are the wrong colors. It's the wrong font. And now I'm talking about styles. What styles do I want? Aflac, do I want this co-sponsor thing for Alabama football? Bold, let's just keep it. Product centric, I'm going to remove it because we don't really need templates that have like, a cream with features and benefits and offers and prices around it. Like this isn't really that kind of campaign, or this is, I'd say for Aflac, they don't really have like a product. If it was a bank, it might have a credit card and stuff like that. But so let's say minimalist, which is basically elegant, and that's good if you're going to plan to do a lot of layering and resizing into IAB standard sizes and stuff, because there's less overlap. Lifestyle will be kind of busy. It's the target user using your product in a setting. It's a little bit harder to to layer so that you can then do all like 8 IAB sizes or whatever. It's a little bit easier to use a simple one. I really like user generated content is like it'll try to have testimonials if you put that in the product. It'll try to use like quotes. It'll try to use Trustpilot scores, 5 stars out of 5 stars on the App Store. 5,000 customers love this thing. Illustrated is like it'll get graphical, and it does a really good job, to be honest with you. Um, Cinematic is okay, but it's kind of dark looking. So we probably need to enhance that and add more styles. Feel free to email me at product@omneky.com. Actually, chris@omneky.com is better. If you have any feedback, like I need this style, I want that style. So for now, you would just use a reference ads to tell the system what style. But if there's some missing here, we're happy to support it. Um, okay, so I wanted to make sure those styles so that when I get the output, I understand like why it did that. I want to know why it didn't pick those concepts, right? It's because I told it these are the styles that I find acceptable. And then this keyword thing, most people don't know about it, but it will like upweight or overweight a phrase. Like if I really want the headline to be something or to include this phrase all the time, you could put it there. Not all the time, but sometimes. And then if I had data associated, if I had insights package, I would, let's see. Oh, okay. This section would be more, I would be able to pick a campaign or an ad group and the data, the predicted lift creative elements that are working really well for that campaign, that ad group, or maybe just meta in general would be summarized in a bullet list right here. And so then a lot of the concepts will take that input. Okay, so like female gender in the thing performs better. Off this offer performs better. This CTA, this headline, this key phrase, this object in the media, the size of the headline in the canvas, the size of the product in the canvas, etc., would be summarized here. But for now, I'm onboarding a brand. There's no insights. So, I've created some ads already. And by the way, you can create more. Now, this is a busy looking. I think it's a little bit too wordy and stuff. It's probably because it was a wordy, which one? I think it used like a wordy reference ad. But if you click the button, it's not, the next one may look different than this. So it's going to give you variety. Now, really, what's going to be consistent though is the copy here. It's probably going to be the same copy, but in a different looking style. This is a little bit more graphical. Still a little wordy. I could prompt it to be less wordy. I could tell it to change the headline. I could tell it to change this logo. For now, just I'm just going to keep going because sometimes LLMs and the system is a brute force thing sometimes. Just it's easier to like create a bunch of options and find one, pick amongst all those, one that like I can take across the finish line really fast, as opposed to, start editing stuff too soon. You really want to try to do like one edit because it'll degrade the quality with every edit. Like I could fix this logo, but then I might need to fix this and this. So I'm just going to start with more ads and then I'm going to then rein it in. I'm just going to hone in after I do that. So these are clearly different styles. It's because different, I picked four different styles. This one is probably graphical. Uh, this one is like what I called lifestyle, like the target customer in the right setting, using the product or service or whatever. And this one is, um, I don't know, this might be elegant, or I think it's called minimalist. I apologize. And this one, I don't think I have product centric, so maybe this is graphical as well. Anyway, so I'm creating some ads here. So that's where how you would do it here. And I'm just, I could have done eight. Maybe I should have done eight concepts. If you regenerate the brief, so if I change the assets now, because I don't want the heartbeat or I don't whatever, then you don't have to regenerate the brief. You can keep pumping out ads. You just keep clicking the button or whatever. If I wanted to change this campaign to be more specific, you know what, we should really try to include this offer all the time. Just really always have a family of four, yada yada. Or if I wanted to change the objective or anything like that, like maybe I don't want squares, I want all portraits for some reason. I do recommend square if I'm going to do a lot of copying and resizing. Square is the easiest. It's really kind of hard to take a landscape and turn it into a portrait. It's not impossible, but it can be sort of frustrating sometimes. But if I was going to change any of this, I would then have to regenerate because it has to kind of create a new strategy. It's basically creating a new strategy right here. So that it would be now version two brief, and you would see a picker. You can always go back to the old versions. You can always have access to those ads. They're not lost. Or you can create a new brief entirely, and that has no history, and you just start from scratch or whatever. Um, okay, so I'm just going to, for now, that's kind of what it looks like when you uh, use a brief, when you use reference ads. Like I could change these reference ads, maybe like they're all too busy. Maybe I want a real simplistic one, but I probably have some on my computer, but I don't feel like finding it because of time. Okay, so I can also just show you what it's like to just do that one off. Okay, so I'm going to the ads page. I know that a lot of people like to just like look at what we've done and just say, you know what? No, these ads suck. They're too busy. Forget it. I mean, like this system is for you to do it. Like we're a platform for you to configure it and save yourself tons of time. Like this thing that I'm talking about, I'm being kind of talking a lot, but this end-to-end flow of coming up with a bunch of concepts, turning them into a bunch of sizes, and then clicking launch or download, like it can take 20 minutes or whatever. Like this agency told me it takes them like 10 hours to onboard a brand and like create like this IAB ad set. Um, and so I guess my point is you can edit these, you can create more ads. You should just come up with your own concepts or you should you know, configure it so that, the brand has the right metadata, the product has the data, the styles are correct, the fonts and colors are correct. So there's less editing. So here, like a happy family cheering at an Alabama football game and Affleck duck mascot. I'm just going to use the suggested prompt. If I had something in mind, I would put it here. In fact, I can do all of the above because all I need to do, it's just it's just fast. It's just like, okay, what else do I want like here? I think it's just going to come up with its own picture. It's Gen AI picture. If I wanted to I'm just going to click this because I want to make sure that this logo is like in there because, we're the official sponsor of the Alabama football. I could do a reference ad, but I'm going to let it go wild. I'm going to pick three. It's just going to do all three at the same time. I'm just going to, I'm just going to do three variations times three orientations. I can also dictate the the copy. If I don't do it, AI will just come up with all these different variations of copy. Some agencies and brands are, they already have like the copy's been locked down for a month, or they're only comfortable with certain things, and it would be a waste of time to just let the AI brainstorm stuff because then you have to get people approval and stuff. So like maybe you could just either write it here or you could let's just say protect what matters most. And then uh, financial safety meets football. Great. Okay, it's related to football. Get a quote. And by the way, those prompts, if we had data connected, performance data, it would also influence like what phrases we think that you should consider. So, or you can just ignore it and just do your own thing. And then I'm not going to um, put metadata in there about the copy and everything. Okay, so now I have my copy, the asset. I wanted the logo in there. Go. Okay, in the background, it's running all this stuff. I want to keep moving forward. I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to go and say a dog with a football helmet. Yes, I want that. Let's, okay. Again, let's just see what the logo in this. I'm going to do three squares and I'm just going to move forward. Um, so anyway, that's how you can use this, and you can dictate what the copy should be. If I only have a dictated headline, but you know what, I don't care about subheadline, I don't care about CTA or something. You can leave that. It's optional. You can leave it blank. If this was connected, there would be AI suggested concepts. It's primarily for optimizing your existing ads, but if you if you have performance data for an ad that you're running, it analyzes the elements of it, comes up with a suggestion list, and then you can just like execute that, and then you can create variations of the executed thing. Uh, I've done that you can look at the other lunch and learn, and you can see that whole thing. I want to move forward because I want to show you the end-to-end process of like onboarding a brand and being done in like 30 minutes. Anyway, for just, I don't know, what did I pick? I didn't say anything. I'm just gonna like not even say anything here, and it's just gonna come up with something. So let's just go with it. Uh, okay, so then I'm just gonna do three again. Okay. So, it does cost credits for every variation. I guess, me, let's just say I favor my time. So I spent, 15 credits times three, like 45 credits to get these concepts. But I want to turn this around really, really quickly. Yeah, I'm willing to spend $5, $10 to like come up with a bunch of squares, get it over into somebody else's hands so they can look at it, get their opinion, get it back, make the final decisions, launch. Like that's my objective at the moment. Okay, so let me make this like smaller so that there's a bunch of ads already. Uh, and I could prompt edit these if there's anything wrong with any of them. I could also delete some if there's clutter. What I'm looking for is a couple usable squares that I can uh, change into different aspect ratios. Like this is a very busy one. It's probably going to be very hard to layer, but just for fun, I'm just going to show you, whoops, shoot, how easy it is to like copy and resize this, let's say, into a couple sizes just to see. Like maybe it's perfect right now, and I don't even need to layer it and everything like that, in which case it's fine. I'll just like copy and resize it. Let's go with that. Actually, I kind of like, what was that one that just came up? Here's the dog with the football helmet. The dog with the football helmet. It's probably usable if I prompted it to have the Alabama logo right here. I could just say add logo there. Actually, let's see what happens if I do that. Um, Sarah, I'm just going to check in. Is there anything? Let's see, add Alabama logo to helmet. I'm going to give it the logo right here. I have to pick it from here. Sarah, was there any, make sure, I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know if anyone, oh shoot, that's not it. Where's the logo? It's here. Sarah? Maybe she's not on or she's muted. I don't see the Paula and yeah, here. Okay. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. That was for something else. Are you guys still on? Anyone still on? Or are you all muted?
I'm on.
Oh, great.
Yep. Yep.
Thank God somebody's listening. Okay, great. So let me actually, you know what? I don't want the Aflac. Maybe I do want the Aflac. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say fix fix Aflac logo and add Alabama logo to helmet. Okay. So you can do multi-asset changes. Now, unfortunately, if you do too many assets or too many directions, it does kind of a bad job. It might do like an okay job with some of the directions and then a bad job with the other one. So it didn't really help you accomplish your task. But I find it does pretty well with like pretty high quality when you do two or three things like fix this logo and, I don't know, change the product to this product. Like basically, sometimes the product is not perfect looking. And so I want to fix this logo and fix the product. And that can usually be effective. Or if you change this to a cat and and fix the logo or change the headline or whatever. This is going on. It'll take a few minutes and a half to authorize. Like I have to kind of see the results before I save. Oh yeah, this was just like when we did the same thing for the customer. Like this is the kind of results you get when you take it. I took some squares and I resized them, and then now you have these different ad sets. I think they look pretty good. Okay, let's go back over here. So it added the Alabama and oh shoot. I could fix this in post-production, meaning like when I layer this thing, I'll fix that logo. But for now, I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so I'm done with that. Here's another dog in a helmet. Okay, we gave it a shot. It either works, it doesn't work. I don't know, whatever the customer wants. Um, yeah, this is very easy to repurpose. So what I did is I clicked this thing, edit in editor, and I kicked off the layering process. So there's not a lot of overlap, and it's going to take a few minutes to turn these into layers so that I would only do that if I wanted to like fix this logo, or maybe this font isn't the right font, exactly the right font. And let's say you have a client and they're very picky about that, or you have a brand manager or legal and you need the right font. So I need to layer this so I can go into the template editor, into the editor, change the font, change the color, change the logo, maybe replace this with that or do whatever. Um, da da da. Let's see. So yeah, I showed you, I think, I did resize some stuff, or didn't I? Let me resize some things and I'll show you the results of that layering in a second. Oh yeah, I think I resized this family right here in the middle. Uh, yeah, this one. Okay. Fortunately, the LLM sometimes does cut off. I'm going to say shrink, copy, and uh, fix cutoff. Fix the cutoff on the left. I don't like that it's cut off here. I don't know why. It's a problem, and we're trying to solve that so it doesn't happen. What else? I could also fix the logo at the same time, but you know what? Let's just keep moving forward. So I want to squeeze that. Okay, let's see. Where am I? This thing is still working. I have to wait for that to work. What brand am I? 5444. Okay, let's go. Okay. Any questions while I'm just navigating around? Just to remind everyone, like where we are in this workflow. We wanted to onboard this brand for the first time, fill out all that information. I feel like it's well configured now. We got assets, we got folders, we got logos, we got color, we got all the information, we got a product. And all I'm trying to do is get through this flow of doing this one co-sponsor, co-marketing thing, this campaign, and I want to turn it around in 30 minutes. So like now I have some concepts here. Like this is kind of cool. I don't know, is it? Anyway, and so I like to start with squares, then I can copy and resize those, see how it looks. I could layer it, so I could fix. So this is a good one because it followed my prompt. I said, please have both logos in there. Now, I still might want to layer this if I'm a pixel perfect kind of a guy and I want the Aflac thing to be bigger. I could either prompt it here. I think I'm going to have to layer it one way or another because I might need to do something later. So I would just do that, and I would probably just drag this bigger. Uh, like this duck may not be brand approved. I might need to like officially replace that duck. So let me close that, and I'm going to first of all I'm gonna resize it to square. But then I'll kick off the layering process. I think that it should work well for that. I'm just gonna, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me layer this thing. Let's see how it works, if it works well. That's still moving forward. What did I do here? I made it, whoops, shoot, okay, yeah, I think this is good. I mean, it's a little bit AI looking. It's not optimal, but I would probably start from scratch as opposed to like keep trying to edit this over and over again, because this is what happens when you keep editing over and over again. The original image that you really liked gets degraded, 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 degraded. And so you really want to start with a really good starting place and then ideally make like one edit and try to be done. Um, okay, let's see if the layering is done here. I think it is. Both of these are going on. Actually, you know what? I think on this one, oh yeah, that's the same thing. I had this is what would happen. This is the thing I ran like, an hour ago for the client. So like, this looks pretty good. I can tweak it, I can move it. If this isn't the right font, like I think Montserrat is actually the one that Aflac uses. So we might as well get that right so I don't get in trouble with the client or my brand manager or anybody or my wife. Okay, so then we got that. Go like that. This could be a little larger. And by the way, I can make this centered. I can make it left aligned. I could change the color. I could change the bold. This thing is something that would make things kind of fast. To make things centered, if you want to make it centered. I'm not going to move that. I didn't know I had selected that. I forgot. It didn't layer this button. Just like a secret hack for you guys. If you wanted this to be a button right here, you could unhide the background. Whoops, unhide the background. And actually, I'm going to make this white first. I'm going to do that. Shoot. I think it's because there we go. Do that. Oh no, I don't want that. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Basically, if you unhide the background, I think it's because I'm zoomed. I don't know what's going on here. Shoot. Well, what I'm going to control Z. What you can do is you basically can add a background and then add a little buffer around it so that just the words is now its own button. I don't know what was going on there. You can also add shapes. Like I could change this background canvas to like a good color, or I could even do a texture or something like that. If this was a football stadium, I could or if these guys were too big, I could make them smaller, and then I could click uh, AI image expand, basically outpainting. It would be outpainting the edges. In this case, I don't think I need it for this, so I won't. You can enhance the image if it's low quality. Like if this dog is low quality, I could fix the image, enhance, it'll upscale the dog, or you can remove background and things of that nature. Um, I could make them bigger or smaller, but actually there's a little white thing there. I could also magic brush if I want to, you could fix image and magic erase to brush off this white thing. But I think the original ad had a little white gap between the two people. So I won't spend everyone's time doing all those, but this is what it basically looks like. And then I said you could add shapes like buttons and you can do AI. I could create like, you know, assets here if I want a present. And these are like they're saved. Like I've used these before. Like, right. I created this, I said University of Minnesota basketball players. And I picked it in the style of, I think I picked it in like a certain style. I forget which one, 3D animation. So I said University of Minnesota female basketball players showing the basketball to the camera, 3D animation style. That's how this was produced. So you can do stuff in here if you want to create a stamp, you want to create something to put in the background or whatever. Uh, okay, we're running out of time, so I'm just going to keep moving forward. So our objective was to, are these done yet? Let me refresh. Our objective was to quickly create a bunch of concepts, find good ones, and like try to fix them, have the logo, both logos in it, and then, you know, let's say I'm done. Okay, these two are good to go. Now, if I was an agency, I could submit these for approval right here, and you could have your customer come into this UI, and you could even white label this thing, and they could review it and not see like all the in progress garbage and stuff, only the ones that were submitted for approval, and then they can approve, reject, or annotate it, and you could have your workflow in here. Or I could just I could launch these, or I could download them in bulk, just to show you what, oh shoot, this one isn't connected. I just want to make sure people know how to, uh, let me go to Omneky real quick. In fact, let's go here. I want to show what launching is. If you haven't done it, you have to connect your ad account. So you have to be authorized for the Meta ad account. A Facebook page is required. And then uh, you can launch to existing, or you can create new sales, traffic, and leads campaigns. This is a video. I want to launch it. You can multi-select and launch if you want. Shoot, what's going on? Why is it not? I wonder if the Zoom is messing with my computer. It won't let me select this. Um, Shoot. You know what? Let me try another one. Maybe there's something weird with that. I don't know. What do we got here? I'll figure out what, I mean, I don't know what could possibly go on here. So let's launch this thing. Okay. Maybe my Meta account, like that was a video, and I don't know, it might have something to do with my permissions or something. So like these are some campaigns that already exist. I think I have one called Chris. You could also, and I could pick it to push it there, or I can create a new campaign. Sales campaign, leads campaign, traffic campaign. Let's do leads just for the sake of demonstration. I give it a name, Chris Test, the budget, $1. Uh, yeah, I can launch it as active or not active. Some people want like a totally continuous workflow. They really don't want to spend a lot of time. I just want to launch this thing as active. Here's my 2 ads for the week, launch. And I don't know if you would, and so you could launch the campaign, you could launch the ads as active to an existing campaign ad group, or you could launch it as paused. Ad set, let's just say Chris, promoted pixel. You do have to pick this because, although I think we are going to make it optional, but right now it's required. It's because you need some kind of conversion event. Usually, like if it's leads, some kind of conversion event would be helpful. Otherwise, your campaign is suboptimal, especially if you have our insights connected. Uh, it's kind of a waste of money to have insights and stuff and not have like a pixel. But I think we're going to make it optional because let's say you have a campaign that's coming, you're trying to prepare your campaign in advance, you don't have that pixel set up yet. So that's one use case for doing it. Oh, I didn't even need to check that box, to be honest with you. I could have, because here is where you select it. So I didn't even need to multi-select on that page, to be honest with you. And let's just use my standard form. So you've set up the forms in the Meta interface already, and they're associated already. And now I have them to pick. You can't do a form through our interface. But now is where I would like pick the video I wanted and an image. And then I can launch it with a headline, a couple headlines that Meta has to work with. It's going to like run these different headlines, these different texts. It's going to create combinations and stuff. Call to action, whatever. Just, I don't know. It's like sign up and, URL. Let's just see what happened before. Let's launch it as, I'm not going to launch it as active because I was just messing around. We're almost out of time. I need some water. I'm going to show you a green check mark soon. Any questions while I mean, I don't, it'll show me in like 2 seconds probably. Any questions? I don't know why this layering. We're trying to work on we've had a lot more users, a lot of signups lately, and our infrastructure, we got to invest in it and we got to work on, so we're trying to lighten the pages. So it did launch. We're trying to get the layering to be faster. Now, unfortunately, that means like maybe the fidelity of the thumbnails may go down a little bit because we're trying to load this page that has hundreds of ads on it, and you're in, I don't know, Morocco or something, which is far away from the servers. So um, the fidelity of the thumbnails, but the fidelity here will be better. I suggest you click if you wanted to like really evaluate this thing. Uh, you would click into it to see it in all its glory. Um, the meta ad copy, like this is the meta copy that goes with the creative. It doesn't change this. This thing is fixed right now at the moment. This image is done, so to speak. And this is just some stuff that would go with it when you push it to meta so that it has some options to work with. Okay, this one wasn't connected, so I couldn't launch it. So I just showed you what it was like. But I came up with a bunch of concepts. I think they're on brand, they're on strategy. They're If they were data connected, they'd be on performance data, uh, and I could edit them. I wanted one that has two logos in it, so I think I picked that, the Aflac and the Alabama. Uh, so I met my objective. I can submit it for the people to approve, like in my UI. I could download it, send it to them. I could, or just launch it. And we're going to work on more meta campaign types and then Google campaign types, YouTube, and then TikTok, probably in that order. But feel free to email chris@omneky.com if you're strongly opinionated about uh, what features you need, what ad network, or what campaign type. I think campaign type would be directly applicable. If I hear everybody saying, no, I need TikTok before YouTube, that would be a clear signal for me. But that's not what we've heard so far. All right, I'll stop. I'm still sharing my screen, I hope. Anybody have last questions? Otherwise, it's going to be a long video for people to
There
watch.
were some questions here, but I've reached out to everybody to have a follow-up one-on-one. Everyone who attended had questions. But if
Okay.
there is any last minute thing to cover, Chris, otherwise, um, yeah, we'll be happy to, we appreciate everybody coming and that way we can direct any, I'm sorry, like answer any direct questions that you might have for your account.
Yeah, or email support@omneky.com with questions or
Yeah. And then we'll
yeah.
share this recording as well.
Yes. Share it with all your
Okay, good.
friends.
That was great. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of the week. Dip your toes in that water for me. All right,
You
guys.
got